Hello, everybody. Bengala here. So, this performance management information system series, as earlier introduced, actually is a deep topic and very relevant for this present generation. But now we'll be looking into the aspect of the series. We'll be looking at information systems in performance management. How relevant is information system in performance management? Basically, that's what we will be looking at today. Basically, that when we are talking about performance management, that is developing capability to give relevant and useful information for decision making and projection and the like for management use, and for performance, maybe in form of an appraisal method and the like. We cannot but use and rely on good and qualitative information. We must rely on information, and that connotes that the information to be used in performance management must be solid. We cannot afford to use anyhow information, so it must be qualitative. So that means we need to look at the quality of information, and this will be just like a summarized format because there is a video in which we do all this. So when we are talking about qualitative information, that means information for performance management must be timely, must be relevant. It must be accessible as much as possible, and it must be cost efficient. Not that we will need a chunk amount of money, big amount of money. At the end of the day, after investing it to get those information, what we really use it for, the end product could not justify the amount. So information for performance management, one of its qualities, it must be cost efficient. So it must not be too costly, it must be relevant. We need information to make, let's say, appraisal. Now we must have relevant information for appraisal method in form of what are the KPIs before, key performance indicator. We must know them before we can now say those are the thing that will be the yardstick that we are going to measure people's performance against. So it must be timely, it must be handy, the information must be handy, and it must not be erroneous. That is part of the quality of a good information. It must not be lacking in intangibility. It must be substantial. That is, we must be able to substantiate it, validate and revalidate any information we want to use for performance appraisal or performance management rather, which is a form of system of appraisal. If not, at the end of the day, it can cause chaos in management governance if we rely on information system that is not genuine, not authentic, and lack quality. We cannot also but talk about the sources of information: internal generated information, externally generated information, this one that we generated first, and this one that we need to rely on outside confirmation and reconfirmation. So we must rely more on one than the other. Like, we must rely on information that we generate by ourselves rather than the photocopy evidence given to us, because anything will have happened in the process of being photocopied and the like. So internal information, external information, and their usefulness and how reliance they are, we cannot but talk about it when we are talking about information systems in performance management. We cannot but talk about the process in which the information or the data has passed through before they become relevant information. And part of the quality too of good information is that it must be relevant, that it must be able to lead us to what we want to achieve. It must not be a mismatched information. Information that is genuine and authentic and relevant for strategic management may not, for the purpose of tactical management, be relevant, may not be relevant for operational management performance and performance management rather. And these are levels of information that we may have: strategic management information, tactical management information, operational management information. We must know when and how to use them, which we had earlier discussed. Just as I said, this video is just to summarize what we need to know and learn about information systems for performance management, as the elaborate video has been done, and we are going to link it in the description. Please don't forget to check the description for the link of major videos that leads us to everything we need to know more about information system in performance management. We are just running through things that we must talk about. Oftentimes than not, like strategic information, they are not always detailed, but they are very strategic. Usually they will answer to questions like, what is the purpose of our existence, and where do we see ourselves in the next 10-20 years as a business organization. So those are the qualities that will make a strategic information unique and relevant to the strategic managers. And when we are talking about the tactical performance management information system, are shorter in their horizon than that of strategic management performance information system. That's information requirement at that level, but it is longer compared to operational and day-to-day information that will be required at the operational level. So here more detail is required, and when we come to operational, more information and more details is required than that of tactical. So more or less, as we go down, we need more details. As we go up, we need less of details, but the quality of the information that we need is more and more futuristic. So we are going to go more into the performance management information system series now, and we'll be looking at the big data. We'll look more into the big data in the next video, like this one, that is just the summary of what we need to learn or what we've learned, which we are going to send the description below. We are going to have an elaborate video on big data, and we are going to study in particular the 3 V's characteristics of the big data, the 3 V's that must characterize big data. We are going to elaborate on it, then we are going to move on to the types of information systems for performance management. Types of information systems for performance management, then we'll go into the effect of information technology on this our present generation and future generation. The effect of information technology, IT, on performance management. So as we look at the big data, don't forget to subscribe. If you have any questions, don't forget to ask the questions, make a comment, and we are going to respond to it. We are going to go into the characteristics of the big data. What really is big data in this next upcoming video.